Hello! This is a complementary video to the other one I just posted, which is named Jung's Archetype... The Innocent. What I'm talking about is based off of the work of Carol S. Pearson. She's the one I really like. She's the one I found her book incredibly interesting. This is to talk about the journey of the archetypes and what the order is and what they all mean. So there are 12 main archetypes based off of Jung. He believed that they were universal archetypes that were always found within our stories, myths, and legends. And he liked to study this because he believed it revealed a lot about the human psyche and that it was incredibly natural for us to get these archetypes. The first archetype is the innocent. So you start out, you could say, as a child. You start out full of hope, optimism, you're also very naive, you're dependent, you trust everyone, and you only look for the good and the happy and the fun. No responsibility, no conflict, no anything. So you start out in this area. Then you move on to the orphan. The orphan is when you realize that your trust was misplaced. You are betrayed. Things let you down. People let you down. The world is more unfair than you ever thought it would be or could be. And all you want to do is fit in. What you want to do is find that place where you can give your trust and be loyal. You just want to be part of a family. Then, I don't even remember. I'm gonna look it up. I don't remember. Then the natural progression after the orphan is to go to the hero archetype. So that's where you want to become courageous and you have found your family and now you want to fight for it and you want to defend it and protect it. It's where you are afraid of being weak, are afraid of being afraid. And with the hero, you could also call it the warrior, right? You want to fight, you want to battle, you want to defend what the orphan has found to be a family. Afterwards, you go to the caregiver. Now, this is where you learn to take care of your family and take care of the ones you protect and take care of the masses. Now, the hero wanted to destroy anything that was a threat, but then when you go into the caregiver, you learn to care and you learn to love and you learn to think of other people besides you and what they've gone through, and you just want to lend help. So those were the ego archetypes, and then once the ego archetypes are done, you go into the soul archetypes. So you go into the seeker, and this is where you say, all right, I need to find answers. I need to go onto a spiritual journey, or I need to find out who I am, and you seek answers. Once you found everything, you get into the destroyer archetype, and the destroyer archetype, what it aims to do is to destroy anything that doesn't serve you, anything that is unnecessary, any baggage that you've carried that is no longer useful, that is detrimental to you. That's what the destroyer does. Then you start anew, but you also you learn to love. So you go into the lover archetype, and with the lover archetype, you learn to fall in love with what stayed in your life, what you didn't destroy, and you build up on that, and you start you're enamored and you're more sensual maybe, and you're more focused on union and romantic love, you could say. And then afterwards you go to the creator. So once you've been able to love what you had kept in your life, then you want to create more of it. That could be through art or philosophies or jobs, anything that you add to your life. So that's where you start adding back again, because now you know what is important to you, thanks to the seeker, the destroyer, and the lover. So these were the soul archetypes, more soulful. Once that journey is done, you go into the self archetypes. So the first one is the ruler. That's when you've gone through all of this journey and now you've found and created things that you love and care for. So you could say that you've built your kingdom. Being the ruler means that you need to take responsibility of this kingdom. You need to rule it. You need to have honor, and you need to follow your duty and do your duty. But that it's a lot to bear. You could say that you're Atlas with the world on its shoulders. You have a lot of responsibility to keep your life and the people around you and everything that you care for going and doing well. From that, you have the magician. The magician is the one who brings change. He's the one who allows the ruler, and that's how I see it, and maybe it's what I've read, but I'm not sure anymore, but he allows the ruler to hold within himself magic, because your perception of things is what's important. So the magician, what it does is that it teaches you that by changing your perception, you can change your world and you can change your environment. So anything is malleable and anything is possible if you decide to see it this way. And from then on, once you're in your kingdom and really making it as beautiful and as transformative as it can be, you have the sage. The sage is the advisor, is the one who values the truth. He values the absolute truth above all else. It's the one who reads and is curious and stays informed and loves knowledge. It's the one who is in books and is very rational, objective, and detached. He's the perfect advisor, I believe, to any ruler. And then once all of that is done, you go to the Fool archetype. The Fool archetype is the fun one. The Fool archetype is when, you know, you've gone through all this journey, you have your kingdom, everything is under control, and you sort of let go. And you can just have fun and laugh and drink and dance until like whenever you want, and everything is fine and all is good and you're just having fun. And then from the Fool, if you stay in the Fool long enough because nothing heavy happens in your life or nothing that really needs to change, or then you go back into the Innocent, where you start ignoring all the other problems that arise. And from then on, if you're courageous and if you're aware and if you're awake, you go back to the Orphan. You know, you admit that there are problems and you do the whole journey once again. So that's what I find incredibly interesting with archetypes. The whole journey it brings you into, and how you can do it over and over again in your life and still learn something. So that was just a journey that I will refer to as I talk about all of the archetypes, and I just wanted you to know a little bit what I meant by that. Now, I suggest that you go and watch the other video that I made. This one was a complement to that other video, which is Jung's archetype, the Innocent. It's the start of the journey where I talk about the Innocent. So I hope you enjoy this, and see you in 2 weeks, because next week I'm moving, and I already said that. Okay, thank you so much. Bye, guys.